Well, hello and welcome people leaning into Arms of God, a new Brotato-Like bullet heaven that the first demo just came out as part of the Bullet Heaven Fest, and of course the OTK, is it Winterfest? Something like that. Anyway, this is one I've been really keeping an eye on, that I've been very excited for, and I'm very excited to check out the first demo. Now, this is a Brotato-Like, and we've tried out some Brotato-Likes in the past that are extremely similar, if not carbon copies. This one is quite similar right now. However, there's actually a couple small changes that actually fix some of the issues that I had with Brotato, specifically about upgrading weapons. This is a very early demo though, so keep that in mind. The devs were kind enough to put up a notification before the game basically saying, hey, super early, only 10 rounds, there's no meta progression yet, which there will be. There's going to be like other characters and stuff. There's going to be a whole bunch, but just keep that in mind while you're watching that this is a super early look. But without that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump right into the demo itself. Now, we are going to have different characters. Obviously, there's no icons here yet. We have the Ranger for extra range, dodge, pickup range. We have a Warrior, and we have the Destroyer. We're going to go ahead with the Ranger. Right now, there are not a lot of melee weapons. In fact, I believe there's only 3. Everything else is range, which seems like a very heavy leaning towards that. So I'm actually surprised that there's like dedicated melee classes. We also have shield, so we can either go for less health points but more HP regen, or more health points and less HP regen. I think it makes sense for us probably to go with the more health, since we're going to be staying at range. It's probably going to be less likely that we get hit, so we can afford to kind of bulk up a little bit and get a little bit less hits in. As far as the weapon, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what I should go with. My first kind of test run, I was going for electric damage, so let's try and go for holy damage. I feel like the minigun could be sweet, so let's go ahead and do that. And of course, yeah, we are a paladin here, like a mechanical paladin that's going to have different weapons coming off us. So it is WASD, and we do have auto aim and auto shoot. So again, if you're familiar with Brotato, you're going to be very familiar with the gameplay loop of this. Each wave is going to increase. I think it's like 5 seconds? It might be 10 seconds. It might even be different timing. We do have our timer in the middle there. That is what the cross is ticking down to. We also do have a timer up at the top of the screen. And we have a very nice 3D environment here inside a cathedral. Now, I do believe, well, based on what the devs will put up at the end of the demo here, there are going to be other arenas that we can play in. So it's not just going to be this cathedral, which is quite nice. So we can purchase here. We can use our souls to collect. This is all stuff that you'll be very familiar with if you're familiar with Brotato. Even the UI is quite similar. Now, that being said, there are a couple things that are quite different. So like I said, don't write this off as a Brotato clone quite yet, because like I said, there is a quite a big difference here as far as how we upload. Here, I don't really want to go for a shotgun. Maybe do we just go for Lightbringer? Lightinger. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Bringer, but does have electric damage. Maybe you go for a little bit of a split thing. It's a crossbow. Sure, let's go ahead and pick that up. So each weapon is going to have its own stats, right? But you see here, main weapon cannot be converted into upgrade. Well, what does that mean? So the way that upgrades work in this game, so if you compare this to Brotato, when you're playing Brotato, you have to have the exact same weapon to upgrade the weapons, right? The difference in this game is that when you come across another weapon, you can upgrade it. So you can take some of its stats and put it into one of your own weapons. So you don't have to have a duplicate weapon. This can also happen if you have other weapons on your bar here. So if, for example, you know, I'm leveling up weapons and it's like, oh man, I don't really like this weapon anymore. We found a better one. You don't necessarily have to turn it into currency. You can just take its stats and pump it into another one of your weapons, especially since down here are all different upgrades. So you're going to be able to buy upgrades for specific weapons. So if you like, if you have one weapon that you really like, you can go ahead and upgrade that one. So that's a little bit different, right? The fact that we can go specifically, and this is just telling us collect souls to get experience. So that is a nice little twist. That, you know, for example, if you have a weapon that, like a shotgun, right, that is really powerful, but has kind of poor range, well, maybe you can just buy a bunch of range upgrades and then really make that thing a powerhouse at a distance. Maybe that's not necessarily the best solution because you're kind of taking a gun's weakness and trying to, you know, fix it where maybe you just want to make its strengths even better. But that's kind of the thing that you could do in this one. There we go, and we complete that wave. So, of course, we have all our stats over here to the side, and then this is all the different modules. Let's see, so speed, we lose holy damage, which I don't really want to do. We could grab more armor, but lose speed. Speed, I think, is one thing that we do want to keep in mind. We don't have anything for fire damage, so no sense in doing any of those. We could grab some attack speed. I do like the health, the HP steal. Now, there's also, it looks like a bit of a evolution system. I don't believe that this is implemented in the game yet. These are probably just placeholders, but this will be an interesting system that might also be a way to kind of differentiate itself from the other Brotato-likes on the market. We could go for, we do have pretty decent range on this, so I think I'm actually going to take this. Of course, we do have the refreshes. Dodge is going to be nice, so let's go for some dodge. I don't think I want to lose my, well, I'm actually not sure if we're going to be sticking with electric damage, so I will take the attack speed. And I'll actually also take the HP steal. Okay, so we have some other weapons here. There is a melee weapon which we could go for, which is a little... We could go for the shotgun. Okay, well, let's lock in the shotgun. And to be fair, the shotgun has pretty close range to the lance, and it is holy damage. Maybe we try out that. Maybe we do kind of like a mixed holy build. That might be a little bit interesting. I also really like the fact that as our character gets additional weapons, they're going to keep coming out as, like, robotic arms all, like, coming out of our back, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. Now, it almost sounds like we just got a fire rate increase. I don't know if we actually did or not. Maybe there's, like, when you get to the end of the timer? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see. So let's buy our shotgun. Oh, wait. We totally didn't even have the shotgun. I am okay. My brain just like completely died there. We have exactly enough for the melee weapon, so let's take that. That's a lot of holy damage. Let's go ahead and lock that in and head off to the next round. I will say that it's a small thing, but the animation that plays every time where our character puts down the cross, I don't think is necessary. I think it just kind of takes away from the pace of play. So I think having it once is probably fine, and then it's kind of like the first round he does it, and then it's kind of implied every wave that it happens. I don't think it needs to happen every time. One other thing that I do want to mention that when it comes to these games that can sometimes be an issue is perspective. So if we're up here, right, look at how little I can actually see for like enemies and projectiles. Like I don't have a lot of time to actually react. So because of that, a lot of that portion of the map I'm never actually going to realistically use. Whereas if I come down here and put my back to this wall, look at how much more of the game that I can see, and I have time to dodge these projectiles. Now that's not necessarily, you know, it's one of those things like, well, then just don't go up top. Sure, but I'm wondering if there's a way that you could potentially make that space either usable because of the fact that there's not a lot of vision up there, so you could have maybe some other kind of benefit up there if you actually want to go there, or if there's just a way to fix the perspective. Of course, the best way would be top-down, but I don't think that top-down really lends itself to this one. So we're going to go ahead and take the holy damage, which of course we can only increase one of these. So let's go ahead and put it on the minigun since that has the most range and will most likely hit the most things. Although this has the most, it's percentage based. So perhaps we should actually go for the holy lance. Let's do that since we get the biggest boost there. So we can go for extra range. So let's go for the extra range. I'm actually going to put that on our, since we don't have electric damage on this, we can put it on this weapon, get a bunch of extra range, and not get the negative on it. And then we have a machine gun, which does holy damage. So let's lock that in. Let's do a reroll here, see if there's anything cheap. And that loses holy damage. Don't really want that. You know what? I'm actually going to turn down these sound effects just a bit. I had blended a little bit to try and take the music down, but now I think the sound effects are kind of taking over. Now, as far as I can tell, at the end of the round, the game doesn't auto-collect like a percentage of the souls you left. And there's no, like, Brotato-like system where it, like, stores all the souls that you didn't grab, and then the next round, it doubles the first X amount, where X is the amount of souls that you left on the floor the previous round. So you really do need to collect everything if you want to grab those souls, I do believe. Let's just double-check here as the round is ending. So we're at 240... Yeah, and we do stay at 240, so you do need to collect everything that you want to actually take. So now we have a tier 2 minigun. So how does it... So, let's see. If we go ahead and we do... Well, we can take this separately. Yeah, we can combine weapons by inserting one into another. Upon merging, the combined weapon is lost, and some of its stats will not be transferred. So, when we actually... Okay, so the tier we can see by it... by the actual square here. So if I wanted to, we could take 5 holy damage, crit chance, and range and put it into any of our weapons, which is kind of interesting to put it here. I don't think we're going to do that, but it's just something to look at that we could eventually do. We do have an upgrade. We have the machine gun upgrade, and it shows which weapons you can actually put this into. So I'm guessing that there's going to be some weapons that you might not be able to attach. So let's go ahead, and there's extra range here. So let's go ahead and put this on our shotgun. Get a little bit of extra range there. Let's see, HP rate. We lose HP steal. Interesting. One of the things that I really do want to go for, though, is specifically damage. I'm not sure what rarity. Maybe that's for higher higher experience. I'm going to go for the damage here. One thing that I know that I want to go for... Oh, that's electric damage. No, we don't want to do that. So we're probably going to be getting rid of this, or perhaps putting a holy weapon onto this for more holy damage. I definitely want to get a bunch of damage, which seems like it would be pretty straightforward. So like this with the holy damage, I might actually put this on the light dinger. Not exactly sure yet. Maybe I just get rid of this and we just buy this, because the DPS here is way higher than this. But to be fair, we also have this on it. We're gonna hold off and we'll see. Because the boss is thick. But I mean thick with like 4 C's. He is chonky. So we're going to need some big damage here to actually take him out. I ended up building quite a bit of survivability into my test run. And I think I went a little bit too light on damage. And I only got him about halfway dead. So we'll see how we can do here. Now, obviously, surviving is it is a different way to win, right? I think a lot of times I get sucked into this mindset where it's like, oh, you have to kill the boss in order to win. But no, surviving to fight another day is another way to win the game. So you don't have to kill the boss, right? You can build just a 100% tankier build. Now, obviously, having more survivability and less damage means that you're going to be getting less experience over the course of the run, right? But you can still make yourself pretty strong, get a bunch of experience, and, of course, currency, which, I mean, same thing here, right? But, yeah, now they're finally telling us about regeneration, which, of course, works exactly the way you would think it would. After you stop taking damage, there's a period of time where you can recover some HP. But we got a lot of chonky boys. in this wave that are giving us some quite good currency. Quite good currency indeed. So let's see here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and take this. So we can sell it if we want. Or we can take its stats, which I'm going to be doing. We're going to take the extra range, and we're going to pop that into the shotgun here, I think. Actually, I think I'm going to pop it into our... I'm going to pop it into our... Wait, can I not put it? Oh, attached. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so then let's go ahead and buy this. So now we have 2 of those weapons. Let's see. Some HP steal could be nice. We lose some crit chance, so maybe I actually want to go for positive crit chance. We can lose some armor. I'm actually going to take that for a little bit of survivability, fire damage, range, explosion chance, explosion radius. Interesting. Okay, so let's take this. Let's pop it onto our minigun. Crit chance, and we lose some damage. I think that's fine. I'm going to pop that there. Holy damage, and we lose some health points, so we'll take that, since that's going to give damage across the board. This will also give some... we lose some damage percent, which I think is fine. But we gain some crit chance. Extra projectiles. That one's interesting. I think I'm going to lock in this one, though. I'm not sure about this one. That's a lot of damage we lose. And again, it's better for clearing mobs, but it's not necessarily better for clearing bosses. Now, I've also noticed that there's no, like, on-map objectives, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be, like, a quest, right? But similar to all the Brotato-Likes that I've played... Oh, boy, hang on. There tends to be some kind of thing to pick up, whether that's, you know, in Brotato, you have your trees. We played Dark Chaser Battle Tide that had, like, different chests. Also had different ways to pick up health along the way. Typically, we see these things. Now, again, a lot of these things that I'm going to be questioning, critiquing... Remember, it's a super early demo, so there's going to be a lot of stuff that's just not included in the game because it's just kind of like, here's the proof of concept. The trailers that came out for the game actually pushed like a lot of different features and a lot of different gameplay that I was super excited for. But again, there's totally different things between a curated trailer and an actual test build. Yeah, so let's take this. Where are we at for range? Let's go ahead and pop range. Oh, let's go ahead and pop that over here. HP steal, no. Resource, no. We'll refresh. Holy damage, yes. We will definitely take that, especially since we don't have anything for fire. Let's see, so we lose some HP or... No, I don't think we want that. Speed, yeah, I will take that. We'll take a little bit of armor as well, I think. Don't want the range at the cost of damage. None of this we want. Holy damage, okay, yep, we'll take that. That's a lot of holy damage. Definitely take that. Crit chance and lose some electric, totally fine with that. We reroll here. HP steal. At this point, I feel like I'm going back and forth here. Actually, that's not too bad. We're going to take that, and we're going to take the health points. All right, we're good. I haven't been fully keeping track of, like, my health steal versus armor, and so it's like, oh, here, we'll take the plus health steal minus armor. Oh, now we'll take the plus armor minus health steal, and it's just, like, going back and forth. But we're doing pretty okay. We're doing pretty okay. Our damage feels pretty good compared to the last build that I tried. Now, one thing that I will say is I did try a melee build, or I should say I started as a... Oh, god dang. Okay, hang on. Let's focus. Let's not run into some big boys and have the run just completely ended. So let's go ahead and gain some of our HP back. So I at least tried starting to play a melee build, and that might have put a damper on my build, right? Because I specifically picked a character that was better with melee and then picked a bunch of ranged weapons. Mostly because, again, I was trying to kind of force it to see how the melee would play, but there's just so little melee weapons in the game, it's really not beneficial to do so right now. I'm assuming that more melee weapons will come in time. And, okay, let's see if we can force some of this currency and not get killed. Okay. Yeah, so it was one of those things where I was trying to make it work, and it just didn't, and so I think that's why a lot of, like, my damage fell off. Holy damage, we lose some range. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so we'll take this. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll help out the DPS here. I actually really like the DPS number. Just to give me a rough estimate, we're going to take the HP, definitely. And then I'm going to take a... so, again, we just got the HP, but I'm going to take the HP steal, so that way it kind of pads... you know, it pads that... It pads... Wow. English. I need some caffeine, boys. So, we get a bunch of HP, then we can use some of that HP to basically be a cost for HP steal. Let's keep refreshing. Bounce, no. Fire damage, no. Electric damage, no. Holy damage, and we lose some health. Sure, we will take that. Again, we just want more damage. The rest, I think I'm going to save the rest rather than refreshing. One of the things to me that I'm hoping either changes or they give some kind of setting in the menu system. I am a dark mode user, right? Everything I can, like, my phone's background is 100% black. Chrome is always in dark mode. YouTube is in dark mode. I actually have Chrome add-ons that convert anything that's not dark mode to dark mode. I'm really hoping that they have an option where the menu is a bit darker. For me, it's easier to see light text on a dark background than it is dark text on a light background. The light background just tends to kind of hurt my eyes because I'm always in a dark room. So I do hope that that's something that... maybe not necessarily change, because I understand that the light background is probably more so... it lines up with their theme of, like, the paladin character a little bit more. But I would like a toggle, so that way, in case people do like the darker mode, they can play with that. Okay, now we kind of are forced to come up here because a lot of these guys are just shooting crazy amounts of projectiles and are just making my day hell as they just aren't being killed. Okay. So, what do we want to do here? That's a lot of holy damage. So we're going to take this. Let's go ahead and pop that on... let's see here. Crit chance. So we lose some crit chance, we lose some range, right? So I'm going to go on the one that has more range, so that way we don't dip this range too low. And this is the boss wave. So at this point, I'm not going for anything like pickup range or anything like that. HP steal, I like that way more than HP rate, so we're going to grab that for a little bit of survivability. What's our dodge like? Our dodge is fine. Okay, and our armor is in the tank, so I'm not going to go for that. This is pretty great. And I think I'm going to increase the range on my melee weapon here. Again, just so that way I can maximize damage that's being dealt to the boss. Let's grab the attack speed. Attack speed's great. What has the best damage? This actually has the best damage, which is funny. Okay. Stagger. I'm not exactly sure what stagger does. I'm guessing maybe it's like a kind of like a knockback. I haven't found any way to kind of see descriptions of that kind of stuff, so that would be helpful. Most of the stuff is pretty straightforward, though. Oh, hold up. I just totally realized that there are 2 other menus up here. Now, there's nothing here yet, but okay, so there are going to be quests. Okay, I am looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and... Oh, actually, I need to pause for a quick second, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh this. We have more holy damage, so let's take that. Let's go ahead and pop that on our minigun. And more overall holy damage. What about our crit chance? I think, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the positive damage rating. Refresh, and then is there anything else I really want? Not really. Actually, electric damage. No, we got rid of... Yeah, we got rid of everything that had electric damage, so we don't have to worry about that. But I think here, if I reroll, I'm not going to be able to buy anything. You know what? You know what? Boom. There we go. All right. Let's get her done. Let's see if we can kill this boss. We got 2 minutes to do so. And there he is up in the corner. Oh, this boss is different. Oh, actually, no. This might be the same boss. The boss I was thinking of was just a melee boss, but I think this is in fact the same boss. But oh god, our survivability is not quite as good. We're taking a lot of hits here. I definitely wish that there was a damage preview of when he does his leap, so that way I know exactly where he's going to land. Like all these other fireballs and stuff have indicators of where damage is going to be done, except for that one. It kind of does after he lands, but not before he lands. Well, I can tell you this, our damage is much better than my last build. Much better. There we go, boss down. Yeah, I definitely wish that his jump had a preview, because like all the other range attacks did. Congratulations, you've just completed the alpha demo of Arms of God. I hope you've got the vibe of the game now. The early access is planned for early Q3. That's funny. The game is still playing behind. So unfortunately, well, actually what I'll do is in post, I'll pause the video. But yeah, for those of you guys who are, well, actually it doesn't even matter because then I can't read it. Oh well. Go ahead and exit to the main menu. But anyway, that is Arms of God, one that I'm pretty excited for. Especially as there's more meta progression. We saw that there was quests there as well, so I'm interested to see how that's going to work out. But I think that there's a lot of interesting things that you can do with this game, right? It's one thing, I think, to just continuously kind of do the same loop where you buy weapons and your weapons upgrade your weapons, but your weapons always play the same, right? And that's, I think, where this plays a little bit differently, where because you can specifically upgrade your weapons in different ways, I think that that is a really cool innovation on a formula that we've seen kind of time and time again that's trying to kind of replicate a format that works really well for wave-based bullet heavens. And so I'm excited to see kind of where that goes. We also saw that there was a preview of evolutions. So that'll be interesting how that actually works out. You know, do you have to, like, if you have 2 different modules, do they combine into a more powerful one? I'm assuming that I mean, that is evolution, but just like the actual gameplay, right? Are you going to have to unlock the preview? So if it says, like, buy this one and then plus question mark equals question mark, do you have to discover what that question mark is, or is it going to preview it for you? Or are there going to be achievements that you have to unlock in order to unlock those previews? I don't know, but that's kind of something that I'm interested to check out as well. Interested to see if the different characters have different skins. I do believe that this is the only skin right now, so I'm kind of hoping that there are different character models. But that's kind of a small visual thing that doesn't really change gameplay and will probably come later on if it does come later on. But other than that, guys, what did you think of Arms of God? Let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, if you want to check out the demo for yourself or just wishlist it, Steam page will be down below in the description. But guys, if you did enjoy your time with me today, would you kindly smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action? I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.